In today's Globe at Home, what a treat. Legendary Boston comedian Norm Crosby joins us along with Comedy Notes writer Nick Zano. They're here to talk about the upcoming performance of Norm Crosby and Friends at Emerson's Cutler Majestic Theater this Saturday. Thanks for joining us and welcome home.
Hi.
We're here.
Welcome home.
We're here. We're happy to be here.
So how often do you get back home? You grew up in Dorchester, not too far from these studios.
Not a lot, Nick. Unfortunately, I'm on the road constantly, and I don't get back as often as I'd like to. My brother Buddy lives here, and my sister-in-law Janice, and my niece Jackie, and I would love to be able to spend more time with them, but I'm away. I'm still busy. I don't understand it, but I get calls to work, and I go, you know, because I don't know how much longer they're going to be asking me to go. So I go. I do everything. I just got back from China. My wife and I were in China. My wife is from Brighton. My wife, Joni, was a Rockette, and then she went to work at Blindstrup's in South Boston as part of the dance troupe. And we met there in November 1st, we were married 40 years. 40 years.
Now, when you were working here as a comic in Boston, it was before the 80s scene in Ding Ho, where the club scene got going, where there were official comedy clubs. What was the scene that you worked here? I know you worked all over New England.
We didn't have comedy clubs. What we had were little weekend places where the father was the cook and the mother was the waitress and the daughter was the bartender. I mean, those little places, and there were millions of them. They were all over Springfield and Chicopee Falls and Holyoke and Worcester and Lowell and Lawrence, and we would work those places. And it was an education. I mean, you learned to be a pro, you learned the basics, the rudiments, the intricacies of the business. I would be on a bill with 3 belly dancers and 2 strippers, and a whole room full of guys yelling, "Get off! Bring out the girls!" You know. And we had to learn to overcome that. And the kids today have comedy clubs where there's 6 or 8 or 10 comics, one after another. The people come in to hear the comics. They come in to hear that, so they don't get the hostility that we had to contend with. And I think it was a much better education as a performer to learn how to overcome and to handle situations. We were better prepared, I think. We learned the rudiments.
And last year you were given a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Comedy Festival by Emerson, and now September 15th is Norm Crosby Day.
I was so very proud of that, because here I was in a theater on Tremont Street, a beautiful big theater that's named after a very dear special friend of mine, the Cutler Majestic Theater. And I grew up with Teddy Cutler. You know, it was such an honor, and Dennis Leary and Stephen Wright and Bill Dana, guys that I knew and respected so much, presented me with this honor. It was a very memorable thing. I've been blessed. I really have. I was a kid growing up in Dorchester thinking about doing comedy, and the guys that I watched on Ed Sullivan, that I never ever dreamt I would meet, all became my close personal friends.
And now you're working with some of Boston's best tomorrow, Tony V,
yes,
Patty Ross,
I'm excited
Don Gavin,
about
Brian
that.
Kiley.
Yeah.
And you've always been in touch with sort of the younger crowd. You had the Comedy Shop.
Yes. You remember the Comedy Shop?
The TV show where you had comedians on, Jay Leno, Nathan Lane before he was an actor.
We introduced about 300 of the brand new young comedians, probably their first television appearance. And I see them now and they thank me. You know, they said, "You're Jay Leno and Howie Mandel and Paul Rodriguez, Kevin Nealon from Saturday Night Live, Nathan Lane, Broadway star, who did stand-up comedy on my Comedy Shop." But it's exciting and it's very rewarding.
Well, and tomorrow you'll be playing the Cutler Majestic Theater with Tony V, Don Gavin, Patty Ross, and Brian Kiley.
Saturday night.
Yep, and thank you very much for appearing on the show.
Please
I appreciate it.
come and see us.
What a pleasure it has been to listen to you tell the stories. Thanks so much, and have a great weekend and great trip home.